we all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Welcome back, WBZ 1030. This is Real Estate Radio Boston.
Check us out at our website, realestateradioboston.com. You're going to check out all of our sponsors on the website, which allows this show to happen week in, week out.
Go to YouTube. These guys in the studio here make us look pretty every single week.
Yeah, you have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. They can check out all of the various clips there. Absolutely.
That's what we do.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this segment.
Absolutely. We've got Robin Brodsky from Keller Williams out of the Westwood Needham market. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me to the show. It's just exciting.
Absolutely. We're very excited about having you. I mean, you and I, we've collectively talked about the show, and we've talked about you. We've had the opportunity of working with you. Mm-hmm. We know how passionate you are about your business, about your clients, and we couldn't be happier to have you come here and tell us your story.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of your story, what made you want to become a real estate agent?
It's kind of an interesting story.
I like this story. That's why I asked it.
I became a real estate agent because I had a really, really horrible experience when I bought my first condo.
Oh, wow.
So I had this goal that I wanted to buy my condo by a certain age. And I'm not going to tell you what that age is because I think your savvy listeners can figure out how old I am. And so, I had this goal. I found an agent. I found a great place. Really excited. I got to the closing and there was a problem. It was a problem on the seller's side, and my agent, during the course of the closing, just kind of got up and walked away. Didn't say anything, just left me sitting there.
Just abandoned you.
Just abandoned me. Group of people sitting there. They were all representing the seller. There were attorneys and me.
Wow. And you basically didn't feel that anybody was advocating for your interest.
Not at all.
It made an otherwise celebratory experience a miserable and a horrible one.
Yes.
And you took it upon yourself to use that as a means to say, you know what, nobody else should go through this. And,
right.
And that was a motivation enough for you to become a real estate agent. How long ago was that?
That was 8 years ago.
8 years and
Yeah.
counting. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What a great story. Seriously, that is a great, great story.
I never want anyone to feel that way. A closing should be a happy event. You should be celebrating. You should, it's the biggest purchase of your life.
Right.
And,
we talk about this,
Robin. It's not a
Robin.
sad one.
You're right.
It's not one you should regret.
We talk about this all the time, and that is that you need to entrust your interest to an agent that does this full time, that invests herself or himself in his or her clients. Right. And I think you do that very, very effectively. And I like the fact that you keep reliving what happened to you 8 years ago so it doesn't happen to your clients.
I don't like it, but it's good motivation to help my clients. And that's what it's all about, about caring about people who you're working with, taking care of them, knowing that they have someone who's advocating on their behalf.
And
that's
be honest.
And be honest.
Exactly.
Be honest, be trustworthy. You can't go wrong doing all of those things.
Now, I know in the intro, Rick was saying that you are with the Keller Williams office in Westwood and Needham, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But those are not the only towns that you service. Tell us, where is your sort of wheelhouse in terms of towns?
Well, it's a pretty big area.
It's a pretty big area?
It is. I've worked everywhere from Boston all the way out to Hopkinton, as far north as Lynn, as far south as Weymouth. I will go anywhere where my clients need me to go.
Sure.
Because if they're working with me, they want me. They don't want me to refer it to another agent and send them somewhere else. They want to work with me because we've established a good relationship.
How are you finding the market today? Just so the listeners would get a flavor of, in your wheelhouse. Let's really localize it, if we will.
128.
128, yeah.
How are you finding the market?
It's still hot. There are so many multiple offer situations still going on, which has been happening for the last couple of years. So for people thinking about selling, it's still such a great time. The interest rates are still low. There's such a shortage of inventory and such a huge amount of buyers who are out there wanting to buy something.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of opportunity in the market, and for buyers, there's some opportunity, to be a little bit strategic in what you're doing and how you make these offers, to get
Stand
the
out.
properties that you want and to make the offers stand out.
Absolutely.
How are you setting up your buyers to go into these multiple offer situations?
There's a couple of different strategies, some different things that you can do, writing personal letters to the seller. I have my clients do that a lot. And to be honest, we've won some multiple offer situations not being the highest offer because we've won with the emotional piece.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We've won with, a letter from the family, letting the seller know how much they would love to live in that home and make that their home. And they include pictures so they can really, humanize this and see these.
Tug at the heartstrings, huh? Yeah, love it.
But that's such a great strategy. That's to personalize, humanize the transaction, rather than it not be just a business transaction. Because now the sellers are saying, "Oh my God, we want these people to."
And it's
have
such an
our
emotional thing. I mean, the sellers have probably lived there for multiple years.
Exactly.
They raised their children there,
Exactly.
and then now there's a young family looking to raise their family and all that. So, yeah, I think it's a great move. I think it's really good.
A lot of the buyers agents that Rick and I talked to, I mean, obviously you guys are working 10, 20, 30 times more than what you were before because of these sort of multiple offer situations. How do you emotionally set expectations for your clients to go through this roller coaster ride of not having their offer get accepted?
Right. Well, that's a tough one. That's something up front you really have to have the honest, brutal conversation up front that here's the reality of what the market's like, and here's the reality of the situation. Lowball offers really don't happen anymore. It's just the way the market is. I think you have to get your buyers to a point where they're comfortable with making a quick decision. You don't want to rush them. You want to allow them to look at the properties that they need to look at to be comfortable to make those quick decisions and to make the decision of maybe paying more money than they think they should have to, but to get the house, their dream house, the house that they love.
Yeah, I hear a lot of buyers say, well, I just don't want to go over asking price. And I think, the conversation that we have with them is, asking price is really nothing. I mean, agents are reducing down the asking price to encourage a bidding war. And if you're not willing to go over that and pay probably what the market is, so there's really, what's an asking price?
Well, I had that situation recently. I priced something, for my seller a little bit lower than I thought to encourage multiple offers. And that's exactly what happened. We sold the property for $27,000 over asking price.
Excellent.
My seller was ecstatic. I mean, overall, she got over $150,000 more than she thought the property was worth anyway.
Wow.
So
kudos to you.
It was a great situation. And the buyers coming in are coming in knowing that it's going to be a multiple offer situation because they can see it seems like it's priced a little lower
and
than it should
appraisals are
be.
happening too. So,
You're only as good as the team that you assemble. I think you would agree with me. I think one of the first critical steps in any offer is to make sure that your buyer is approved.
Absolutely.
And I know that you and Rick work very closely with one another.
Yep.
What are some of the unique strategies that you've employed on the financing side to set your buyers apart from the rest of the competition? I mean, I know that, Rick, you have very unique sort of timelines that you can enforce. You talk to the listing agent to be able to tell them how strong the borrower is, etc. But some of the unique things, Robin, you do.
In terms of, working with buyers, that financing piece is always the challenge.
Absolutely.
I think having the conversations up front with them, obviously having a strong pre-approval, going through instead of a pre-qualification, getting an actual pre-approval where some of that information has been sent to the underwriters so they confirm and know and are confident with those numbers when they go to make an offer.
Absolutely.
That's key for for buyers. One other issue that has been coming up a lot because of the multiple offer situation is appraisals.
Got it.
And so letting your buyer know that there's a possibility that the appraisal might not come out at the price that they've offered, and there might have to be some negotiation. There might have to be some additional money put down on the part of the buyer. There might have to be a concession on the part of the seller. Just preparing them for all those possible scenarios so that once they happen, if they do happen,
It's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
That is music to my ears. I'm telling you. I mean, setting those expectations up front. I mean, the buyers are going into these transactions with their eyes open. They know exactly what are some of the trials and
Exactly.
tribulations they may be faced with, but you've already prepared them for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. So, for those listeners that want to reach Robin, how would they reach you?
They can reach me on my cell phone anytime, which is 617-270-1120.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure, 617-270-1120.
All right. And is there an email or a website they can visit?
They can check out my website, which is sellnhouses.com. So SELLN houses.com.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Robin.
Thank you so much.